out to the cloud. It doesn't take place in that little rectangle. And the cloud is pure information technology, and it's doubling in power every year. So this is basically a gateway from my brain to the cloud, but it is to be modulated by my fingers and the clumsy interface. We'll ultimately put them in our brains. I mentioned that shrinking of technology is another exponential trend. We see the shrinking of the feature size in three-dimensional printing, proving at a rate of 100 in 3D volume per decade. We're doing the same thing with the size of our technology. People are already putting computers and connecting into the body and connecting them into the brain, like Parkinson's implants. Those are progressing exponentially. You can now actually place them into connect them into hundreds of points into the brain. And the power of them is growing exponentially. They're already very small, the size of a pimento, so they can be placed with minimally invasive surgery, but it's still surgery. They'll be the size of blood cells by the 2030s. We'll be able to just send them in through the bloodstream. We'll be able to create an augmentation of our immune system with intelligent nanobots that can detect and cure disease beyond what our natural immune system can do. Our immune system, for example, doesn't recognize cancer. It thinks that that's you. But more importantly, it'll go inside the brain and basically be a gateway to the cloud, just as we have gateways to the cloud that we hold in our hands today. And so if I'm walking along and somebody's coming and I want to impress that person with some clever thought, my 300 million pattern recognizers is not going to do it. I can access 1 billion or 10 billion modules in the cloud. Just the way today, if you need 10,000 computers, you can access that for 3 seconds in the cloud to do some complex operation, like a language translation. I'll be able to access additional neocortex in the cloud. And the cloud is pure information technology. So it's doubling in power every year. So we will basically expand our neocortex. There's other advantages that'll be backed up. You can also download new skills into silicon or synthetic neocortex. And we'll basically expand our thinking. And remember what happened the last time we expanded our neocortex by developing these large foreheads. That additional quantity was the enabling factor for this grand qualitative leap to create language, art, and science. And so what's going to happen the next time? Well, imagine asking a humanoid pre-language, gee, this is exciting. You've got this additional neocortex. What it's going to be like when you invent language and art and science? And because he wouldn't be able to answer the question, we can actually understand the question now, and we can answer it at least by analogy. But we'll be able to make a grand qualitative leap as we expand our neocortex. And concluding comment, that's what I'm doing at Google. I gave a copy of this book to Larry Page in July, and he asked me to join Google and basically create a synthetic neocortex based on the ideas in the book and use it to understand natural language so that we can have the Google computers do search, not just based on words. It's remarkable how well that works, but it doesn't really understand concepts. All the pages that it examines, all the billions of web pages and billions of book pages, it's looking for sequences of words and word patterns.